Everybody got this open? Week 8? We're looking at, oh, I got to go back here. Oh, no, sorry here. In-class budget. You want to right-click on that. Save link as, or right-click, download as, whatever. I'm going to put this on my desktop because I'm not going to need it, but you all are going to upload this when you're done today. I'm going to put my first initial last name, budget template. Is that what we asked it to be called? Let's see, when finished. First initial last name, my personal budget. So that's what I'm going to call it. E-Magazine, my personal budget. So those of you watching the video at home to do this assignment, you're going to do the exact same thing. What? Yeah, save link as. I'm going to open up this file. So let me tell you what the goal for today is. The goal for today is to get through some of the basic outcomes that you're going to need with some formulas, with some conditional formatting, with some other things that we'll look at. But also the goal for today is for all of you to decide what might make this personal budget better. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this master sheet. I'm going to walk you through this master sheet. Okay? So let me know when everybody's got it open. Does anybody not have it open yet? Okay, let's get it open. Nope. Save it wherever. Don't save it in the download. Save it in your document. Save it yes.
And I thought I took the instructions.
Windows. I wasn't really.
Everybody got it up. Now there. Thank you.
Well, that's go back. I was looking at Windows Explorer, right?
Save link as. There you go. Now save it. Anyone else? So what are we looking at?
Right? I tried to do it, but I had to do it. It's not that's something.
There you go. Okay. Is it up? Okay. You all tell me what we're looking at. Budget. That's Captain Obvious. Keep going. Give me the details.
Well, we've got our income, then we've got housing expenses, transportation,
Financial management.
work reviews.
Financial management. What does the title tell you?
This is the master budget.
This is the master sheet. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to design a budget. Feel like we're going to design a budget. It's going to work for you. All right? So here we go. Income. Now, if you don't have two incomes, perfectly fine. Here's the thing. What I want you to do is, with as much detail as you're willing to give me, put in your income. So what do I mean by that? If you're getting income for financial aid every quarter, take 1/3, or every quarter, take 1/3 of whatever you get to live off of and put it in this month. What's income? Money coming in. Number 2 would be, do you have a part-time job? Does mom and dad feed you cash each month?
I'm confused about self-feeding tea. Why are there two?
What do you mean?
Well, there's 2,500 and 2,400 ways.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we just doing column B?
Yes. Well, no, you're doing column A. Where it says income. Let me give you an example. Maybe this will help. I get income from Central Oregon Community College. And then I get income from illegal dark web activities.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that on something I'm turning into the school.
Okay, then I won't either. Okay? How about volunteer work? Okay. Well, actually, I get paid for my volunteer work. They just don't pay me what I normally get paid. So, they pay me $30 an hour to do something I charge everyone else $150 to do. So, why do I get paid for my volunteer work? Because when you get paid, they actually tend to listen to what you have to say. It's like working for a company where they hire a consultant in to say the same thing you've already told them. So they just paid 10 grand to hear what you already said. Which happens a lot, by the way. Okay, so once we have income, why the two columns? Here's why the two columns. In the first column, under B3, we are going to put budgeted. Holly, are you with us? You got this open? You doing the budget things? If so, Holly, what do you think I'm going to entitle the second column, column C? What am I going to entitle column C? So yes, was wondering if you wanted to put all of the budget in or 1/3 of it. So 1/3 of it, because we're doing by months. So we're actually going to do November as our first month.
We do that at 1/3 if I get now. I get paid monthly.
If you get paid monthly, put in your monthly amount. But what I'm saying is, like people on financial aid, they get a check at the beginning of the quarter that has to last them the whole quarter, right? So 3 months, we take 1/3 of it. This is how much I have to spend this month. Because if I spend it all this month, what do I have to spend the second and third month? Credit cards.
So the C column's total, right?
No.
Actual.
Thank you. Okay, Holly, we don't need it from you because someone in class already got it. So this is the actual. So the budgeted is what? Tell me what the budgeted is.
Ideal.
What I'm planning for. What I'm planning to spend. The actual is what? What I spent. And what do you think column B is? Column D is going to be? Hint B. Difference. Good morning, Justin. Are you there?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm teaching a class. You want to say hi to the class?
Hi, class.
So I'll call you back, all right, bro?
All right. Bye.
That's my best friend. Difference. So now we got to start with some math. Yeah. Now, I'm going to use these numbers. What I'm going to encourage you to do, we'll see what Holly's got to say here. Oh, I thought you had something else to say. What I'm going to encourage you to do is put in real numbers. Okay? Because if we keep this as a fantasy, y'all are going to use it. All right? So I want you to put in real numbers, but remember, you're going to turn this in. So if there's stuff you don't want me to know, make it up. Cool? Yes?
Why would budgeted be more than actual, though?
We'll get there.
Okay. I'm trying to put my numbers in, but I can't figure out why budgeted would be more.
Well, why would budgeted be more?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, do I want budgeted to be less than I actually spent?
I thought budgeted was what we were planning on spending, and then actual was what we made.
No.
Okay, I'm lost.
Okay, you're completely lost.
Totally remember.
Great. So guess what? After today, you'll have a budget. So here's the thing. Let me give you an example. For Central Oregon Community College, I'm estimating my budgeted amount. What I'm budgeting is $2,500. Okay? But let's say this month I had a sick day, or my tax liability went up, or whatever, and my take-home pay was only $2,400. Now, if I do all my budget based on $2,500, then I'm $100 short for the month. You follow? Okay, because this is my income. So I get money in, and then money goes out from that. And hopefully at the end of the month, I have something left over, or at least I'm at zero. Does that make sense?
What if your budgeted and actual are always the same?
That's an amazing thing. That means you actually have a budget that's right.
Well, the thing is, it's like it's a budget, but it's a payment that I get every month that
Right.
never changes. So
Then that's easy,
so it's a budget.
because you know I'm going to use 500.
Okay.
Every month you know you're getting 500, and you know you're going to spend 500. Great, 500 on 500.
But it's just in-
Then that's even better.
I think it's the other way around.
Okay, but okay, hold on. You're overthinking this.
So your budget, everyone, is just your income, what you make.
No.
And then your actual is
No,
what you're spending.
your income is exactly what it says, your income. Your budgeted is how much you're expecting to make this month. Now, next month is December. Anybody get cash for Christmas? Well, if we want to put that in our budget, we can. We should. You'll see why. So budgeted is just an estimate. It'll make sense more when we get to expenses. Okay? Budgeted is what we think is going to come in, and then once we actually know at the end of the month or whatever, we're going to fill in the actual column. And ultimately, what should the difference be? What is the perfect difference in a budget? Zero. How often does that really happen? Not that often. You'll see why we're doing this in a minute. So here's our first equation. This is where we have to use critical thinking. Because what you're going to find is the equation here is different than the equation for expenses. Okay? What should, you critical thinkers, what do we put in actual? Well, right now, what's in actual is going to be a made-up number. The reason, you might just leave your numbers as my numbers, but the reason we need numbers is so we can do some math. Okay? Because if we did this without numbers in there, it's all conceptual, and you guys are going to get really confused when I'm having you take one column and minus the other column where there's no value. So let me ask you this. Was it a good thing that I budgeted 25 and only earned 24? Yes or no? Good thing?
No.
Bad. Do I want a positive value in my difference or a negative value in my difference? Let's try that again. What do y'all think? Who says positive value? It's okay. Raise your hand. Who says negative value? Okay, in this case, the negative value wins. Why?
Money I've left over.
It's not money I have left over. It's money I don't have. If it's money I left over, then I have a positive amount. Let me give you an example. If I budgeted $2,500, but I got a bunch of tips this month, and I got $2,600, then do I have an additional $100 to spend? Yes. Y'all following this now? It's not bad. Why was that bad? Here's $5. Is that good? Is that good or bad?
Good.
It's good. You're $5 short. You owe me $5. Is that bad?
That's bad.
Yeah. What's my formula here? What's my formula here? Come on, folks. This is basic stuff. Okay. Shh. Say it again.
Budgeted minus actual.
Budgeted minus actual? Well, let's see what that gives me. So the Excel formula, let's see if this works.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to do this. We're going to fail first, and then we're going to learn from our failure. Remember how I like to do that? Okay. So what you're suggesting is that I take B4 minus C4. Okay? That gives me a positive value. Did I earn more than I budgeted? No. So that's not correct. So what I really want to do is what? What should this formula be?
Actual minus budgeted.
Thank you. So we're going to take C4. So I want you to type this in. Equals, and you can either type in C4 or you can click on cell C4 minus B4.
How do you get it highlighted like that?
Equal sign. You got to start with the equal sign.
Oh, no.
Yep. Undo. Undo. Come in here. One up. Start with the equal sign. That lets us know we're going to do a formula or something.
Oh, okay.
That minus that. Enter. So, okay. Now,
Type in C4.
I do want you to have some that are different,
Okay.
as you're going to see.
Different, I promise.
Okay.
I know what the other one would really be.
Do we need to continue to explain this? Because you really need to understand this.
I just want to know, so I put my actual income in, and then I put my budget in, and I put my actual $200 less. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Okay. So you put in your budgeted amount. Will you share your budgeted amount?
Yeah, 1,000 from COCC, 1,800 from work.
Okay, so let's just deal with the 1,000. Okay. So you budgeted $1,000 for the month, not for the term.
Right.
Okay. And then here came your check from COCC. Okay. And instead of being 3,000 or 1,000 for the month, however you want to think about it, it was only 800. Are you short money, or do you have more money to spend?
Short.
Short money. Am I short money here?
No.
I do not have $100. Oh God, we have to somehow get this.
You're negative 100.
Okay.
I'm negative $100. Okay, so I think I've got a way to think about this. I am now a loan shark, and you owe me $100. Am I breaking your legs? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm now a loan shark, and you've paid me an extra $100. Am I taking you out for coffee or breaking your legs? I'm taking you out for coffee. With a bagel?
Hopefully.
It's only $100. Let's do the next one. Volunteer work. I budgeted. I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to budget 700. No, sorry. I'm going to budget 500. That's what I want. I'm going to budget 5, and I made 6. Am I ahead in money or behind in money?
You're ahead.
I'm ahead. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. We're going to apply that later. So what's my formula here?
Still the same. Actual.
Still the same.
Budgeted.
Okay, folks. Remember when I talked about the idea of iteration? Remember when I had to put in the absolute cell, the F4, when I did the lecture? The reason I had to do that is this. Here's the great value of Excel. We want to be very careful with this stuff. On the front stage, we see Negative $100. What's showing on my Backstage? What's Backstage? What's Backstage? Remember we said 2 levels? This is what's really going on, right? That's Backstage. Watch carefully. If I now click on this cell that has the formula in it, and you see that little box down here, see how my cursor can change? Holly, can you see that at home? You're not getting a negative. We'll look at that in a minute. Or did you fix that? If I click right there, left click and hold, I can drag down. Now what it's doing is it's copying. Is it copying? Let's take a look. Did it copy the value or did it copy the formula? It copied the formula. However, well, if it's still not negative, Holly, you just need to reverse your numbers. You're doing B4 minus C4. You need to do C4 minus B4. If you indeed have a budgeted amount and an actual amount that is less than the budgeted amount. If the actual amount is more, you should get a positive.
I have a question.
Hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Holly, if you're doing C4 minus B4, then this number here on your spreadsheet is bigger than your budgeted number. That's the only way you're getting a positive. What's your question?
So when I did the left click drag, it like pops up a box, but it won't do anything else. It wants to say copy cells, so I just copy the 3 rows.
No.
So I just got
Well, first of all, you put in you typed in a 0. See how your formula is gone?
okay.
So put back in your formula. That's why. So folks, let's look what happened though. Let me take you behind the scenes. Okay? Here's how I take you behind the scenes. A student a few terms ago coined the phrase control mustache, which I think works really well. So if we look at our keyboard, right above the tab key is another key. Do you see the little mustache there? Okay, that's actually called a tilde. Okay, for those of you that don't know, you learned one thing today. You learned nothing else. You learned what a tilde key is. But we're going to call it a control mustache. So I'm going to hit the control key and the mustache and watch what happens here. It brings up what cells have static values in them. You see my static values right here? And it brings up the cells that have formulas or dynamic formulas. Why are these formulas dynamic? What am I not including in these formulas? Any numbers? Do I care what the numbers are? If I change the numbers, does my result change? Yes. But what else did we see happen? See, it didn't copy the formula from here. It copied the idea of a formula and then modified it because why? Because it's a row down. So what it did is it said, I'm imagining Excel is programmed to say, I know for this row, for this record, you want to take one minus the other. But for the next row down, you don't want the same result for that cell. You want the result for the cells below it. You all follow that? That's iteration. Okay? That allows me, let me give you another example of this. That allows me to do something like this. I'm going to do it equals rand between, which is just a function in Excel. I'm going to give it a low number. I'm going to give it a high number. And all this formula does, remember when we did the equals rand in Word, it gave me random text? This gives me a random number. Watch carefully. I've just created a bunch of random numbers. Do we all agree? Okay. Now I'll explain why I'm doing this later, but I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it in, but I'm going to paste the value, okay? Because I need to get rid of that random formula. But now I just have a bunch of numbers. Do we all agree? And I want to sum these numbers. So I'm going to do the sum function here. Okay? Equals sum. Now, we talked about the fact that one way I could do this is say equals sum of what? What's the formula here?
B.
B, right? B what?
Just a whole column, right?
Well, so here's the thing. If we didn't know how to shorten this formula, we would do B1 plus what?
B2 plus B3
Plus, plus, plus. How efficient is this?
take forever.
So you can just do B, right?
No, we can't just do B. What we have to do is we now want to add up this range of values. The range in the what? Column or row? In the column. So what we have to do is we have to tell it what's the first cell that has a value we want to add and what is the last cell. Okay? So here's what we do. I want you to think about this as a bunch of cows in a pasture. And we're going to brand cows. So they all have to come through one gate, right? So the first cow we want to brand, so first of all we're going to put a gate up. And the first cow we're going to send through is in what cell? B1. Okay? And then I have a really disgusting way for you all to remember the colon. I'll share it in a minute, and you'll never forget it. What's the last cow that's going to come through?
I-8.
No, I'm doing just the column.
Oh, just
B18. And then I put up the fence. Whoops, B18, and then I put up the fence. If you notice as I do this, it gives me a graphical representation. How can you ever get anything wrong in Excel when if you type the formula in yourself and then you look at the graphical representation, it says, it looks like you want to sum all these. Did I miss any of the numbers I want to sum? No. So now all I do is hit the Enter key. And I guarantee that's the sum of the numbers above. Y'all follow? But here's the thing. Do I want to have this result for this column, for column B, in column C? No. What result do I want to have in column C? Give me the formula for column C.
Equals sum.
Yep.
Colon B18.
I didn't hear the first one. C what?
B1 colon
C1 through C18. Okay. Now, if we had to put these in each time, would that be cumbersome? Yes. So watch carefully. By clicking on this cell and copying over not the value but the formula, and then iterating the formula. Excel has been programmed to say, since you're copying this over to another column, you don't want to sum the values in column B. You probably want to sum the values in column C, D, E, F, I, right? And then I let go, and it does it for me. Now, we are not done. We are not done. Quit flirting. Focus. Okay. Because do I know this last number is correct? Do I know this last number is correct?
Yeah.
How do I know?
Because the computer told you the formula is in each and every column, so if the first one's right, the rest of them are right.
Okay. Is there a way for me to confirm that?
Yes.
Yes. Let me show you how. First of all, Bradley, tell me what the formula in column I should be behind the scenes. What is the formula in column I?
Equals
Right?
sum,
Yep.
parentheses B, or I1 through, or colon,
Right.
through I18
Through I-18.
in parentheses.
Interesting that you said through. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's see if he's right. We're going to hit the control mustache. We're going to look behind the scenes. We're going to look backstage. We're going to look over at I. Was he right?
Yeah.
Yes. What he just did was audited his work. If you don't audit your work and you get in a hurry with this stuff, you're going to make mistakes. What's the value of an entire spreadsheet with just one mistake? Nothing. Could it be costly? Yes. So we want to be very careful with this. Now, as was mentioned, the way we know to put in a colon there, some of you already know where I'm going with this. Bradley said colon represents through, and that's the language of Excel. Equals the sum of I1 through I18, colon, colonoscopy, through. For those of you that have never had that experience, someday. You'll never forget that. Through, colon. Done. Any other questions? Let's go back to our magic budget sheet. Yes? Question?
How do you get out of that where it just shows you the...
Control tilde again.
Okay.
Oops, except I'm in a formula here. Check it out.
If you go over where you did equals, brands, between...
No, I will not go over that. Not right now. Too confusing.
Never mind.
Yeah. Too confusing. We'll get there. Okay. Because it's important that you have the ability to practice this stuff. Okay. So, we should have these two things. What do you think I want to put in the totals? What am I going to total in my first income total? Yes.
Quick question about that. As soon as you clicked off of that, I realized that in the middle of that, can you put another formula in there that's a minus, and it'll still calculate it up, plus, 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 minus this, and then plus, plus, plus?
Yeah, so I would just, that's a custom formula. So yeah, I mean,
all you're doing is just taking the minus out from the keys and stuff like that, or the first ones.
So here's the thing. Are you saying like this is a negative 45?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what? I still want to sum the whole column.
Okay.
Because it's going to sum the negative, thus remove the negative, and then add any positives.
All right.
Does that answer your question? Okay. I'm going to delete this sheet. What do I want to put here? Come on, folks. Equals?
E4.
Nope.
Sum.
The sum of, go, Jack.
B4, B5.
B4.
Colon B5.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I could do B4 plus B5, right? But let me show you why we always want to do the through. Because what if I go in there and insert another column, or another record? If I've said B4 plus B5, is it going to add B6? No. So if I say B4 through B5, and then I go in and add a column in between those two, it's going to change the formula. Cool? Want me to prove that? Look up here. Everybody look up here. So I've got this number, B4 through B5. I'm going to come up here, right-click, insert. Notice the formula changed B4 through B6. Y'all see that? So this is dynamic. I'm going to undo that. Now here's the cool thing. If we have this one, what can we do to get the sum of the actual column and the sum of the differences? What can I do?
Left click and drag.
Yeah.
Left click the little thing in the bottom right corner.
Left click the little thing in the bottom right corner.
Drag over.
Hold it. Drag over. And I should know it's correct because, let's see, I was short 100. I gained 100 in my case. That's 0. Are we good so far? Okay. Let's move on. Housing. Again, I want to encourage you to put in the expenses that apply to you. Okay. Now, notice how I have the company name here? Okay. I'm going to put in Envoy Mortgage, that's who I pay my mortgage to. I'm going to take out rent because I don't pay rent. I pay a mortgage. Now by doing this, I know who I'm paying, I know what expense it is, etc.
Mine all came out to 0 on the totals.
Or you don't want anything original.
Yours came out to 0. What do you mean?
I don't know about that.
Oh, I have to do it up here.
I have a question.
Yes.
So if I'm living in the dorm,
Yep.
do I change it to dorm or like?
Yeah, put what it is for you. If you're paying rent to the dorm each month, put that in as an expense.
What is the difference between budgeted rent and actual rent? Wouldn't our rent just be our rent?
Okay, here's the thing.
I'm really confused with those two things.
Jack, you're overthinking it again. In a lot of these cases, you know exactly what it is. You know exactly how much you're going to pay. Do you know that for electricity in January versus electricity in July? Bingo.
The actual is a variable? Or
No.
No, some of them can be the same, but like electricity
No, bro.
has to be different levels.
Yeah. Here's $20. Okay? You budgeted $20. Okay? You're now going to pay me the fee for teaching you today.
okay.
Okay? You budgeted 20. Jack, I need $25. I'll start with 20. What do you owe me?
5.
What's the difference?
5.
Bingo. You still owe me 5. You're 5 short. Jack, before you leave today, if you don't pay me $5, something bad's going to happen to you. Okay? So you agree, okay, tell you what, Eric, give me 10 minutes to make it. Okay, so you go down to the corner with this street sign that says, I'm short this month, $5, and I need to pay my instructor, right? So you stand next to the guy that wants the hamburger, and you want to pay your college tuition. By the way, watch the student do this.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Dressed up, went to the corner by where you work, and held up a sign that says, need to pay college tuition. No! I'm talking about he actually stood on the corner and said, I need to pay my college tuition. And people gave him a ton of money.
We thought you were talking about hooking for college.
Enough.
Wait, people gave him money for that?
Yes!
Yeah.
I gave him money for that. Maybe.
I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
In the total area, I just went through and finished everything else, and it automatically filled in all of it in.
Yeah.
For all of it. So, do that. So, what do you like? Copy and paste and figure out. Yeah, like
Okay, folks, let's move on. We're like way behind on this. See, here's the thing. Now tell me, what should my formula be for the difference in expenses? Budgeted minus actual, or actual minus budgeted? The opposite of income.
Why?
You're spending.
Because it's what we're spending.
Okay.
Mine still comes out at 0 on the totals.
We'll look at that in a minute.
what's different?
So, first of all, using critical thinking, I got to find one that has a difference. So look at my electricity. I budgeted 175, but I only paid 85. Do I have money left over, or am I short money? I have money left over. So here's the thing. If I come up here I'm just going to try it one way and see if it works. Because I'm not sure. I am sure, but it's beside the point. So this time I'm going to take C10 minus B10. I'm going to hit the enter key. That's definitely 0 either way. Do we all agree with that, hopefully? And we fill this down. Am I right?
No.
No. Because I'm not short 90 bucks, I should be ahead 90 bucks. I should be positive 90 bucks. So I come back to my formula and I change C10 minus B10 to what? B10 minus C10. I fill it down, it iterates for me, I get 90 bucks. Is this now correct? Well, let me continue to look. Here I budgeted 50, only spent 40. I have $10 more to spend. I can buy 2 cups of coffee. 50 and 50, 100 and 100. Here I budgeted $24.95, and come to find out the garbage was $29.95 because I put in too much and it was past their weight limit, whatever. So are these all correct? Okay. Somebody give me the function, please, to total up my budgeted housing expenses. Equals the sum of
B10 through B15.
B10 through B15. Now, folks, look up here for a minute. Look at me for a minute. As we learn to do this, I want you to put in the formulas. I don't want you to shortcut anything. Because even today, if I am doing a budget spreadsheet, I'm typing in my own values. Even though there is an easier way, I'm typing in my own values. Why?
Because then you make sure it's correct.
I'm making sure it's correct. Let me show you another way to do this. I'm going to show you this, but again, I don't recommend you use it. I recommend you do the work. I could come in here and say equal sum, put in the left parenthesis. Watch up here. If you're not watching, you're missing. I left-click, hold, drag down through the range I want. If you notice it filled it in for me, I can look at this. Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And the parenthesis, complete the cell. I'm going to copy this over. So in budgeting my housing expenses, do I have $95 to spend or save? Or am I short 95 bucks? Do I have to go collect cans on Saturday or go on a date on Saturday? Great. My wife is going to be thrilled.
You don't have to click and drag. You can just choose the first one and then choose the bottom one.
Yep. I can. Ton of ways to do it. Yep. So the other thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to properly format this as if it was a financial document. Okay? Watch carefully. I'm going to highlight all these cells, and as was mentioned, we're going to use the accounting function. However, when we do this, you see all these dollar signs?
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily need all of these dollar signs. Okay? So I'm going to hit the undo key, and normally what you would do is any time you have data, you apply the accounting format to the first one, and the accounting format to your totals. So now I know I'm dealing with US dollars. Okay? The reason I don't put in a lot accounting format all the way down, let me do that again, highlight this whole thing, do accounting format, is this becomes really busy. Do we agree? Okay. So if you notice though, if I use these as accounting format, do you think I need to do something to the non-accounting formatted cells so that they match better?
Yes.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these a number. Okay? Do I need all the zeros? That's entirely up to you. If you want to keep a budget down to the penny, you keep a budget down to the penny. Okay? When we look at financial statements of multi-million-dollar companies, their ones column is not a single dollar. Their ones columns can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we'll see a simple financial sheet that has 10 here, and it's representing $10 trillion in income. Okay. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to undo this. Not that. I'm going to apply the number format here. And there we are. Okay? Now what I want you all to do, I'm going to walk around and look at this. The other thing I want to do is, remember how we had styles in Word? There are some standard styles that if we all use them, I can look at your spreadsheet and instantly know this is a totals column. First of all, I know that because it says totals. The other thing you'll notice I do with totals is capitalize the word totals. I'm not yelling totals. I'm trying to make it stick out. But the most important thing for me to do is to click all the way through the cell. So I left-click hold the cell that has totals, drag it all the way through, come up here to Cell Styles, again on the Home tab, and what cell style do you think I'm going to apply? Somebody take a wild guess. The total one. Click here, Cell Styles, Total. Yours is going to look a little bit different because of the formatting of my cells. Yes, so yes, thank you, Holly, the total cells. Now I'm going to give you a couple minutes to adjust your transportation. Complete the information on your transportation. I think you'll find that the total is actually already done for you. But go ahead and calculate your transportation totals.